So I think our Atari cartridge uh, stockpile that we're building of unique purpose Atari cartridge may have just gotten bigger. Maybe not, but we'll see. So for those of you watching, um, finally, the movie cart, after multiple failed attempts for me to get in on one of those short run production deals, I did, and so I have two Atari movie carts coming my way. One of which I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to put on it. I'm starting to think Army of Darkness, but I'm not sure. Thought we were going to maybe something Bog Panda. Not sure. And then we're going to do one for Mike, which originally was going to be his song, which may be the recommended video at the end of this video. But upon further reflection, since I can do like a full length movie, he's got issues. So have you thought through? Because I did, given your Evil Bong um, wanting to kind of have a wide swath of Evil Bong stuff, Evil Bong Atari cartridge would be pretty sweet.
Evil Bong would be really cool. Another thing I was thinking too would be to get, so I have an album called Session that we've been putting on anything that can possibly hold an album. That would be pretty cool too. I could make like a special visualizer for it
Yep.
of the whole album and put that on there. So there's a couple different ways to go with it. I mean, it's obviously this is bleeding edge technology, Atari 2600. So I mean, we're going into areas that people never imagined.
Right. Yeah, sessions would be good. Our summer vacation would be another
Oh yeah.
nice option. So a lot of options there, but while we are excited to give an update on the movie cart and it's coming, I don't know when. They took my money, so we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's all going to work out. Um, the Something new's come up that one I'm not prepared to pay for because best I can tell so far, I have to pay in pounds right now, which seems I thought England was on the euro, but I don't know. Confusing to me. But super cool concept. Really, really neat. We'll include a link to the video in there. And that is, like you would expect, what does the Atari 2600 not have that it needs? A Wi-Fi cartridge. So cartridge you can pop in your 2600 that not only will give you Wi-Fi, but will give you access to a large number of um, original Atari games through the cloud. So almost all of this is through the cloud. There's not a lot of onboard storage. There's not any, I think, onboard storage on the PCB, and there's no kind of structuring to do that. No SD card slot or anything like that. So it's all done through the cloud. But you've got Wi-Fi, so you can connect to the cloud and have at it that way. They did kind of over and over again stress your router needs to be able to work with this kind of Wi-Fi, which was letters and numbers to me that I was like, oh, I'm sure I'd be fine. I don't know. But so what were your thoughts when you had seen that um, you now might have a Wi-Fi option for your future Atari 2600 plus?
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy. So it's amazing that people are still like one of the things that I love about being into retro gaming isn't just nostalgia, because a lot of these games, I mean, we have access to thousands of games now through emulation that, of course, we have physical copies of, and these are just our digital backups. But we have access to all of these games. Like, I didn't play that many games when they were originally out. So it's not just nostalgia. It's, discovering a lot of stuff for the first time. But equally as cool to me is all of the amazing kind of creative homebrew and small indie companies and stuff, and all the crazy stuff that's coming out now for all these retro consoles, like whether it's, homebrew games or add-ons and accessories and things like that. That's equally as interesting to me as anything that has to tie into the actual nostalgia of the system. This is something that, just like, I mean, we've had a glut of Atari stuff recently. And of course, as everybody knows, Kelly lives entirely off of Atari tokens at this point. But I mean, there's been so much Atari stuff over the last couple of years, and most of it seems really good unless you paid $1,000 for it. Most of it seems like it's really great. And with the 2600 plus, but I mean, things that I never foresaw coming were movies, Atari 2600, and now going online on the 2600. And that this is all being done. Like, this isn't just, a new system like a VCS kind of thing. This is an actual Atari 2600 that is technically going online. That is not anything I could have imagined would ever happen.
Yeah, and it's not just yeah, it provides the power. It's a plug and you're plugging in a cartridge that has all the guts and you just basically hopped it. It actually leverages the architecture such as it is on the 2600 for like movie cart and those type of things. Not that there isn't some work being done on the PCB and the cart, but at the same point, it is the actual 2600 hardware plays a role, which is super cool. So I'm looking forward to it. We other, so I'm gonna have to wait to kind of see. And it sounds like there may be several of these out there, different kind of flavors. And so I would like to find an American option out there that would be to go. And but what was neat about this one is it looked like it did outside of the existing catalog, which looked like it was going to mostly be available, is that there was a homebrew section. So that would be really cool, I think, to be able to get to the homebrew games and do some of that. And this apparently can play even Pitfall 2, which is kind of the Atari test case for emulation and things these days, because it had a little chip extra help in the cartridge. But it does that. But there are also some higher end Atari 2600 homebrew games recently that do actually require some more processing power than's available in a stock 2600. So those probably won't work, but this looks neat. Yeah, couldn't imagine it. Um, and it looks really interesting. Like I said, this particular one we're sharing a link to, I'm not sure how viable it is. If anybody watching gets it, let me know your path to get it and how it worked out. But as I kind of poked around and looked at it, it felt like when there are recommendations to say maybe you're from Brazil. If you're from Brazil, here's a good way to order it. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm not in Brazil. We'll see on that. But and there were all sorts of different versions of this you could get, which I would get the completely assembled here you go product, and they go. And then there
Right.
were ones where you could assemble some stuff and solder some stuff onto the PCB before you do it. Not for me, probably not for
Yeah.
Mike.
Yep.
Other ones where you
You
just got to do
probably
the
have far
case.
more knowledge of that than I do.
Yeah, I when as soon as soldering comes up, it's like, yeah, no. I think I have people to do soldering for me, so that's the way I'm going to keep it. So, but we just wanted to kind of alert you to this. It looks like another really cool type of thing. I will not be receiving extra Atari tokens for any sales of this device or other Atari devices, even though Atari should be taking care of me. But that's the way it goes. Anything else? Anything else to add on this, sir?
The only thing I would say, like Kelly said, if any of you guys tested, let us know how it worked out for you. And also, too, if any of you are Atari 2600 homebrew people, obviously we would love to bring our game Slapdash to the 2600. The Slapiverse is going to be expanding. There's rumblings, and by that I mean it's already done. An updated version of Slapdash that's going to be coming out soon. So we would love to start porting Slapdash in advance of the Slapdash official sequel, which won't be coming out for a little while, but you're going to get some new updates on the original Slapdash, and I would like to port it to different platforms. So if there's somebody out there who knows 2600 homebrew, we'd love to get it on 2600.
Bog Panda.